we ended the Pain arc last time. Now we've got a fucking 5 Kage Summit arc to talk about. Though it's kind of that, and kind of like the arc is also separated into like the 5 Kage Summit and then post 5 Kage Summit. The last episode I watched was 216. So we're going from 197 to 216. I don't think there's a single filler episode in between here. We're done with Pain. He's defeated. We're moving right into some Danzo tomfoolery that we'll talk about in a second. And Naruto is awful. The anime is terrible. It hides canon scenes in like this middle filler arc, because you start this episode and Danzo's being made the 6th Hokage, but the scene in which that happens like 4 episodes prior in the middle of this filler arc that has nothing to do with the actual story except for one scene where they cut to the and it's a pretty important scene too, because we meet the feudal lords for the first time. It's the Jonin assemble thing with and Shukaku is there. Wait, is that the beast inside Gaara, or is that Shikamaru's dad? I'm trying to say Shikamaru's dad, and he tries to recommend Kakashi for Hokage, but Danzo gets made Hokage. He tries the bait and switch, and that's a really cool scene. Because I went back and I checked the manga chapters to see what order things happen in. There's some big changes from the manga in the anime that I don't think anybody talks about ever. I think people just assume that, like Dragon Ball, like the Naruto manga and anime are identical, when they're really not. There are some pretty significant differences. Like the fact that the Jiraiya flashback stuff doesn't happen in the manga until like the first time you see Nagato, Konan, and Yahiko's childhood is when Nagato explains it to Naruto at the end of the arc. There's not there's 2 episodes in the anime where it's like the tale of Gutsy Jiraiya or whatever, and it's this whole backstory. Some of it must happen in the Pain battle, I think, because I didn't check those chapters of the manga, but it's different than how the anime does it. Also, things flow way better in the manga. This is obvious, especially the end of the episodes that I watched here. There's full episodes that are just flashbacks with Team 7. There's one for Sakura and Sasuke as Sakura is trying to make her way to Sasuke, and then there's one with Naruto and Sasuke, but there's a non-filler scene at the start and end of the episode, so you have to watch it if you want to keep up. It's just not good, Chief. We probably should have read the manga, but the anime that's there is good. The fight animations are really cool. I like the voicing still. So we're going to continue with the anime for now. But if I ever try Naruto again, it's definitely going to be the manga. And I think I'll do it because I have video ideas for Naruto after the fact. And I will definitely be reading the manga for that stuff to get the shit down. But part of it is right as Pain is defeated, while Naruto is celebrating, an Anbu dude talks in Shikamaru's dad's ear and says, we have to be summoned to talk about who the next Hokage is going to be. And this is also happening while people show up. Also, the Killer Bee Sasuke fight is at different points. I was reading all the trivia on the wiki, and it was oh, well, this is different. Is anybody saying anything about Naruto in chat? Honestly, Danzo's based. The trap is you're supposed to not like him, which way too many people fall into, in my opinion. This is definitely true. Danzo's not very base. He's a very bad person. But he's fucking a great character, and you're definitely supposed to empathize with him by the end, and I definitely did. I know, right, by the way, he was responsible for killing the Yahiko, Konan, and Nagato's downfall, right? Yes, Danzo, the Foundation, teamed up with Hanzo to take out Nagato, to take out the first iteration of the Akatsuki, which is why Danzo was known about the Akatsuki for a very long time. Everything ties in Naruto, much more than I remembered, and much more than the internet gives it credit for. But in this first episode, Sai is still off with Anko, even though Yamato ran away. And so these foundational Anbu dudes show up and tell Sai that he has to head back because Danzo wants him to keep an eye on Naruto. So Danzo wants him back at the village. Danzo's already operating as the Hokage. Now, the episode also opens with Naruto and Sasuke being told, not Naruto and Sasuke, Naruto and Sakura being told that Danzo is going to be made the next Hokage, and they don't even know who the fuck he is. And Kakashi's like, oh no, this is not good, Chief. All this. Also, I think this is the first episode with the worst Naruto OP by far, Diver. It's disgusting. I hate the song. The visuals are boring. It's awful and I hate it with every fiber of my being. It's easily the worst Naruto OP overall. It's in the middle of like this stretch of like 16, 17 straight really good ones, and it just ruins it. So that's despicable. Like the chapters are all like in order. It's cool. But that was completely whatever. And also, Danzo has said, we're going to kill that bitch Sasuke. He's dead. And obviously Naruto and Sakura are not down for that. Thematically, everything works really well here, and it's very interesting in a way we're going to describe. Because Sakura gets a lot of hate in this arc particularly, and it's all stupid bullshit. She does nothing. She does some things wrong here. But the thing she does wrong is want to kill Sasuke, not lie to Naruto. What else happens here? These two show up, Karui and the dude that worries about everything, Omui. I don't know how to say his name. This is the dude, right? Is Karui's not the one that ends up marrying Choji, right? Is it? Is this the one that ends up marrying Choji? She is! Alright, I thought it was like a fat girl from the, Cloud Village. Do her and Choji get any scenes together? Also, these two seem set up very much to get together. Is this dude in Boruto? Is that why there's two? There's two pictures of him. I just saw part 2 in the new era. Look at this man. He's old as fuck. Hold on. Maybe we'll have to watch Boruto when we finish. We'll have to see. Is he bitter? He wants to kill Choji for stealing his girl? Like, they kind of have the Naruto and Sakura relationship, actually, so maybe they aren't being set up to get together. But I don't remember if her and Choji ever have a goddamn scene together, so it's kind of a meme that they end together. Because I know their kid is fat, so maybe that's why I assumed it was a fat girl from the village. I love you, Naruto, really. She's the one with the fat glutton kid in Boruto. Yeah, I've seen their kid's design from the last chapter, because I've read the last chapter. Sasuke is also on the way to like fuck up the village here, and Madara stops him and tells him about the that the Kage summon is going on, because Sasuke's still like, fuck off, Madara, I don't want to talk to you. He's being a bitch the whole time. Sasuke tells Madara that the Taka left the Akatsuki, but Madara explains that he blundered in their attempt to catch the Eight Tails. That's right, he's like, fuck you, you didn't catch the Eight Tails, bitch. And he's like, fuck you, old man, I don't want to do your fucking bidding. His associate Zetsu appears and notifies Madara that Danzo has now been made Hokage, much to the Sasuke's indignation, since Danzo is one of the Konoha elders who forced Itachi to massacre his own clan. Madara reveals that Konoha has been destroyed by pain, while Zetsu notifies the group that the 5 Kage summon has been called. I remember there's a reveal with Madara here that I remember freaking out about, but I can't remember what he says. Like, he mentions something for the first time here. I don't think it's the Infinite Tsukiyomi. He mentions something here that I can't remember. I don't know if anybody in chat remembers, but there's like a reveal where he mentions something for the first time. I can't remember if it's like the 10 Tails or something, but I don't think so. But he like teases something. Oh, I think it might be Sasuke who teases he wants to try out something is revealed later to be the Susanoo. But I feel like Obito says something there too. I can't remember. But that's the first episode. It is a little slower than the Pain arc overall. You can tell, especially towards the end, that they're like trying to avoid doing another big filler arc, but they're going to have to make time for the war and shit like that. So I'm glad they do start doing fillers after the end of this stuff, so they can hopefully speed this shit up a little bit more. This arc is all about Naruto trying to figure out how he's going to actualize his mission to get like a peaceful ending, the promise he made to Nagato, and he's having some big trouble. So he tries to take on all of the hate, like Itachi did basically, and she lets Choji's wife, Kamui, I can't remember her name. She beats the shit out of Naruto. I remember this scene pretty well. It was one of like the more iconic moments that I remember from this part of the story. In an attempt to like have her get out all of her hatred on him, but it doesn't work. This is not the way to do it. Naruto will slowly learn how he's going to figure this out. Thematically, it is explored throughout the series. We're down to 13 viewers, I just noticed. Well, I'll go. Wish you. Anne's leaving. Sasuke attacking the Summit Hall was so cool. It happens differently than I remembered. but it is still pretty cool. They just have a disagreement. Sasuke and Naruto find out that Sasuke's joined the Akatsuki here. They are very sad about that. Elsewhere, Zetsu notifies Madara that the Taka that Naruto, who defeated Pain, citing that Naruto may be stronger than Sasuke now. This might be the scene I was talking about where Obito says something. Sasuke smirks and tells the Taka that their new objective is to head to the 5 Kage Summit and kill Danzo. Madara approves of this plan and Zetsu splits himself in two. For the rest of the arc, Black Zetsu and White Zetsu are different. White Zetsu leads... No, I think they might rejoin for a little bit when they're trying to infiltrate. White Zetsu leads... No, because it's only White Zetsu that goes with Sasuke's group. White Zetsu leads the Taka to the summit location, while Black Zetsu stays with Madara. Madara muses how he never expected Nagato to use the... this is what he talks about. He talks about how... And I don't know why Obito would say this when it's just him and Black Zetsu. About how he would say that Pain was supposed to use the rebirth thing to revive him, and we know he was supposed to use it to revive real Madara. Because when real Madara shows up, he's like, Nagato isn't doing the thing. Why am I here as a reanimation? And then Kabuto's like, well, I'm controlling you, bitch. And then he's like, you didn't think so. And then he starts fighting. It's really cool. The Naruto plot is pretty complicated, and it's cool remembering how it all works. I always thought that just it was another Rene rebirth, like the way fucking what's her name did it, Lady Chiyo did it, but it's actually something different because Nagato wouldn't have died if he did it to Madara, because I always thought that was a weird part of the plan, that Nagato was just going to die so Madara could come back to life. But you need to have the Renegon to be able to do it right. That's why the fact that Nagato's dead now, Madara or Tobi or Obito really needs Sasuke. And to control Sasuke, because he needs Sasuke to do this, to bring back the real Madara. So he has to like keep Sasuke on more of a leash than let him do his own things. That's why he's manipulating Sasuke throughout the entire arc. That's why he gives him Itachi's eyes. I always thought that was weird. Like, why would Madara be so nice to give Itachi's eyes to Sasuke? But it's for him to get the Eternal Mangekyo and then hopefully get the Renegon at some point. Because he knows that the Renegon comes from the Sharingan or whatever. I still don't remember exactly how that's explained, but it'll be re-explained later. Damn, no one's interested in Naruto except for you and me. Last 5 replies are from me. I've noticed, Pine Kit, but as long as you're here, we can do fine. Madara dropping the 2 boulders on Inoki was Kino. It definitely is. It's one of the best moments in the series. But what will you do about the second one? Big zoom out, and the fucking second one comes down. And he's still lifting it. He's still going hard. And Gaara's still trying to help. It's fucking sick. It's so good. I love it. Danzo's talking shit. Danzo talks about wanting to kill Anko here. Hold on, what does he say? In the makeshift Hokage office, Danzo orders his root factions to find Kabuto and kill him before Anko does, since Kabuto is aware of Danzo's association. Okay, I was slightly confused about this. I thought he wanted to kill Anko and Kabuto because they both would know about his association with Orochimaru, which is mentioned here but isn't fleshed out fully. Which will be fleshed out in Kabuto's backstory. Because Orochimaru was in the Foundation for a little while. Because isn't it like literally, because I forget Kabuto's backstory. He grew up in like an orphanage or some shit, and then the Foundation showed up because they wanted to use some of the kids, like maybe Orochimaru's experimentations, maybe to just as new recruits. And like, I think it's unironically Danzo, Itachi, and Orochimaru who come to the, like, and Itachi and Orochimaru are like Danzo's underlings in this scenario or something. It's like a wild team of like, look at these 3 motherfuckers. I don't know if it was Itachi, but I know Orochimaru was there, and there's somebody else. Like, maybe it was Kakashi, literally, because he was in the, he was in the Anbu. I don't know if he was in the Foundation. So I thought he wanted to kill Anko too, because Anko already knew, and like she just hadn't told anybody, but it makes more sense if Anko kills Kabuto, which is interesting that she thinks he can. She thinks she can. He thinks she can, but I guess like they don't know Kabuto is like super strong now. Could like original Naruto Anko beat Kabuto? Probably a little bit, maybe. They need the files that Kabuto possesses. And he starts teasing like something's going on with his eye here. They don't reveal it's the Sharingan yet. A lot of teasing and reveals. Naruto's got a lot of mysteries that it has going on, and it's pretty fun. Too bad I knew all the spoilers before I had watched or read any of it. We're up to 15 viewers now. I thought Nagato would have died from reviving Madara, and the only reason Obito didn't was because he had Black Zetsu. I don't remember how Madara actually comes back to life, because the war arc is such a clusterfuck in my head. So Obito does it, but he doesn't die because he has Black Zetsu. So maybe Nagato would have died, because when he goes to do the jutsu, Konan is like, no, with the limited amount of chakra you have left, you'll die if you use that jutsu. She doesn't just say, you would die no matter what if you do this fucking jutsu. So that's what I always thought, but that's just an implication, so maybe he would have died. But why would they believe that Nagato would be willing to die? And again, does Nagato know about the Tsukiyomi plan? Like, is he down for that? I thought he wanted to kill a bunch of people so they could share the pain or whatever. You're watching Boruto or else. I want to talk about post-war arc, but well, never mind then. But well, never. I'll talk about it later. We'll see. The Boruto manga and anime are two different things, right? They're like two different stories, like the Super one, like Dragon Ball Super, I don't know. And people still talk about the war arc taking a nosedive. It has its moments. I remember really liking it. I don't know. OG Kabuto was compared to Kakashi, though. But Anko is like a Jonin, too, right? She has, like, most of Orochimaru's, like, base powers, right? She had that, like, I'm going to kill you with the snake thingy thing when they first meet. I know, Anko could be powerful. Then he gets his two buddies here, one from Ino's clan, one from Shino's clan. I thought they were each other, and it took me a while to figure out. Oh, that's the bug one and that's the mind one. I thought they'd swapped, but I shouldn't have thought that. I always thought these two were cool, and their fight with Obito was cool. I like how one of them literally like gets Obito's arm and like the bug dude, and he like fucks it up. And we also see the other one try and like decapitate the one dude when he takes over his mind with the puppet jutsu. They were cool. Cool little fodder characters with cool powers, as Naruto likes to do. This is when Kakashi and Naruto mentions that he talked to the fourth Hokage here. It's important because later when Minato shows up at the war, Sakura doesn't know who he is and that he's Naruto's father. I think she knows that he's the fourth Hokage, but she doesn't know that it's his father because she's not present when Naruto tells Kakashi, Yamato, and Sai that he met his father. And that, like, it's impossible for the ninth thingy to come out with the seal or whatever, but maybe it's possible now. Doesn't matter, we're taming that Ninetales soon. And they come up with a plan. Sai is very much on their side at this point. I forgot Sai got any focus outside of that Tenchi Bridge arc, so seeing him here, like, be, like, one of the, like, literally the only person on, like, Naruto's side out of the whole original troop is, like, really cool. I like that Sai has come back now, and we like the boy. It's really cool. Kakashi, Sai, and Yamato are revealed to have known that the fourth Hokage was Naruto's father, despite it being a village secret. Sai's knowledge of this fact means that Danzo, most likely, and the other members of the root were also aware. Well, isn't that cute? But yeah. I mean, anybody that was alive back then would be like, what happened to Kushina and Minato's kid? Unless people were just saying that it died. But yeah. This episode was cool, I guess. The next one. Enter the five Kage. We start meeting them. They are irritable at the beginning, because I love all the Kage. They're all really sick. But they do a very good job at introducing them here and them all being pretty unlikable but still cool. Especially Inoki, the boulder dude. I remember thinking he was the coolest motherfucker. Particle style will remain the coolest Naruto jutsu just about. He just makes a fucking cube and then Sasuke disappears and you're like, oh my god, what did he do to him? You're like, who can stop this little fucking backsaw man? And he's fucking sick. The Raikage's being a prick this whole arc. Gaara's cool. We like Gaara. The Mizukage has the weird... Again, I didn't remember she had this, but as soon as I saw it again, I like, oh yeah, I forgot about this fucking gag where she's sad that she's like 40. No, she's not even 40. She's like 31. And she hasn't been married yet. And she always misinterprets what somebody says as like a haha, you're old. When the other dude talks about youngsters these days to her, and she's mad that she's not being referred to as a youngster, she like tells him to shut up or die. It's like she's a crazy mid-30s woman who isn't married yet. So you know how those women are. Again, Naruto, every character. I forgot she had a sexist fucking gender role character trait. But Naruto never disappoints. Every single girl character has to have some reductive fucking traditional gender roles fucking thing. It never fails. That Naruto is sexist video is going to be Kino. I forgot she had one. I thought she was like the one character. I remember she says like, Sasuke's really sexy. Too bad I gotta kill him. And I remember always thinking that was cool. Like she was rejecting that all the other girls were like so, they couldn't do anything because Sasuke was so hot. It really shows this arc that the female motivations are bad in a lot of Naruto. I guess Tamari doesn't have anything, but she just becomes a mother, and Shikamaru kind of thinks she's like his mother, and that's why he likes her, or at least that's why the narrative is saying that he likes her, so that kind of comes back around. Izzy, though, imagine having a crush on Orochimaru. Anko did. Did she? Madara made a joke out of his technique, though. Which technique? I don't know what Punkit was referring to. Particle style, I don't remember this. But particle style is cool as fuck. But yeah, like the fucking Kage being a prick the whole time, and being like, fuck Gaara, this little shit trying to tell me what the fuck is up, and he's just being a prick and like bragging about using the Akatsuki to fuck other people up. Raikage's just being a prick. It's like, ooh, I love these characters, but they were introduced really mean here, and it fits into the whole thing. This dude's name is C. So is he supposed to be like how the Raikage is A and then Killer B is B and then this dude is C? This dude isn't that special. Why is he C? Especially when Darui's right there and he's fucking gonna use fucking lightning panther jutsu or whatever the fuck. It's sick. Does this dude die? I don't remember anything about this dude. Oh no. I didn't even realize I was listening to Vic Mignogna. Just reading this. I don't know what this is. Look at Darui. He's fucking sick, isn't he? I can't wait for his cool fight. Yeah, because he is the Raikage now, right? Is New Era Boruto? That's what that means, I'm assuming. The 5th Raikage. Pretty fucking sick, bro. Storm release, lightning release, water release, wind release. Pretty fucking cool. But we'll see more of Darui later on. He doesn't do very much this arc at all. I think C does way more in the fight. He's just sort of like, I'll let fucking the Raikage do all this shit. We need to start speeding through some of this shit. Somebody with a Gazan or a Genjutsu. Sasuke's like sneaking in at this point. We meet Gaara again. We see, the Land of Iron is introduced with all the samurai and Fu, or whatever his name is, the samurai leader. I know he gets a fight with Hanzo. I don't know if that was filler. That might have been filler. I hope it wasn't. I remember that being cool. The Raikage is introduced. The Mizukage is introduced. It's funny because they make you think like this really super old man is the Mizukage because right before that you're introduced to fucking Inoki here. He's the 3rd Tsuchikage. I thought he was the 2nd. Okay. And they make you think like, oh, it's an even older man now that's the fucking Mizukage. But then he's just handing the hat off to a pretty girl. And she looks young in comparison, even though her entire characterization is about her being insecure about being old. It's cool. C gets genjutsu'd by Sasuke, and that's it. This is true. In that moment, the 5 Kage join together. Inoki says that this is the power of the 5 Kage. Madara says, then I, Madara Uchiha, shall use/answer with my full strength. I was talking about the particle star getting absorbed by Madara. He has the Renegon, right? Does he at that point? I don't even remember. I don't remember how we get the Renegon. I know we kill Conan and we take both of Nagato's eyes, but I don't remember how, like, it gets cloned into a... Well, I guess it's just the Paths of Pain, which is how Obito uses it to give it to all the tailed beasts. But was that filler? And then Madara also gets it, but then Sasuke awakens it later. I'll fucking catch up. I'll re-remember it all as we see it. What's going on here? Something's going on. The two, I forget, we were talking about them there. The mother of Choji's child, they're like, and her group with the girl with the massive boobs, they're all collecting information in the thing, but Yamato like puts seeds in their fucking shoes so he can track them or whatever. That's the whole thing. Naruto showing up and pleading. So now he's gone from getting beaten up to pleading on his like knees without like on his hands and knees, face in the snow, without like pride or anything, to try and save Sasuke. But it's still not working. Naruto, again, thematically, he's trying to figure out how he's going to save the world. And it's not going to work. They also bring up the Byakugan incident where Hinata was almost kidnapped under the Raikage's orders, and how that wasn't made good to the Leaf or whatever, to try and negotiate for Sasuke to not be assassinated by all the Kage who want to kill him, especially the Raikage, because he thinks B is dead because of Sasuke. If B had just shown up a little earlier, maybe a lot of this could have been avoided. I was going to mention something else here. The Raikage has like a cool line here about how the shinobi world doesn't like play around with fools or whatever, and if Naruto keeps acting like this, he's going to die. Basically, this arc is like everybody telling Naruto that he's wrong, but he refuses to give up on the promise he made to Nagato. And it's super cool that Nagato and like Sai are like the only two that believe in him at all, and everybody else turns on him. Even who's following now? Ashuna, the best waifu 222. Well, isn't that a name? Like even Sakura, whose defining character trait is like how much she loves Sasuke, wants to kill Sasuke. The entire Team 7 the entire group wants to kill Sasuke. Everybody, Shikamaru, Neji, Rock Lee, Kiba, everybody thinks it's too far. We have to be the ones to take out Sasuke because he's fucking shit up for everybody. He's joined the Akatsuki. Ino's having a cry about it, which is pretty funny. And it's like a whole thing. Even Sakura is like, all right, I've hurt Naruto too much. Now I have to take responsibility for this, and she decides to kill Sasuke. She can't actually do it when she gets there, but like Kakashi wants to kill Sasuke. Yamato doesn't think Naruto can save Sasuke. Like nobody believes in Naruto except for fucking Nagato. And it's cute, and it's really good that Naruto refuses. Like even Sasuke wants Naruto to kill Sasuke. But Naruto refuses to give in. It's a very strong thematic point about how he will not give up on his friend. And this is sort of what pushes him through in the end, and he ends up saving him. So there you go. Everybody arrives. It's cute when everybody arrives. They start sitting at the table. They start bickering. They talk about like the 4 people that can control like the tail beast, and talking about Hashirama, Madara, and then the former Mizukage and Killer Bee. And it's cool that they're giving even more focus to Killer Bee here and talking about how cool he is. And then Danzo reveals that Madara is probably the leader of the Akatsuki. Everybody's kind of freaked out, especially Inoki, who has run into him in the past, as we'll learn. Then Danzo actually wins, and he gets named the leader of the Force thing, but then the Byakugan dude who's stolen Byakugan, who's part of the Mist Village, which is a cool little detail in there to have them come into conflict. He points out that Danzo has been using his Genjutsu to convince Fu to make him the leader. Sakura has a crying fit because she realizes that she's been taken advantage of Naruto's niceness for this long time. Gaara kind of believes in Naruto too. He even tries to save Sasuke, and he has like the single tear shot that's actually really cool when he realizes, oh, I can't like convince Sasuke like Naruto convinced me to stop being a prick. It's cool that Sasuke has like this. He's like kind of happy to see Gaara, and he's like, yeah, look at us now, motherfucker. It's cool that he like has any like Sasuke does this thing where he doesn't really care about anything, like what people say. Like I remember when Obito first approaches him and like starts talking to him, and he's like, "Hey, I can tell that you don't care about any of the things I'm saying right now." Sasuke's general like, "I don't care about this shit unless it directly relates to me," like personality is really cute, especially when it's fucking subverted like this, and he actually is interested to talk to Gaara again. And then he just tells Gaara to fuck off and that he's wrong. But it's cute that he's like he gives Gaara like his props here, and it's a good little characterizing thing for both of them and their relationship, and a reference to the history of the series. Naruto doesn't forget everything, like people like to say. All this is going on. This is where they have the conversation about how they have to do the thing. They don't outrightly say that they're going to kill Sasuke here, but that's the implication, and as we find out, that is what's said there. Elsewhere, Naruto prepares to sleep. And then Toby shows up and he tells Naruto, Kakashi, and Yamato the truth about Itachi. And they're not sure. They actually opt to not tell Sakura later, but then she finds out after that. The fight here is really cool. Like Sugetsu and like the right Kage fucking everybody up. He can't really get to Sasuke, but he does fuck him up. He literally uses a Liger Bomb. He yells Liger Bomb, which is a professional wrestling move by Jushin Thunder Liger, which is something I didn't catch back in fucking 2014 when I was watching this episode for the first time. He literally canonically uses a Liger Bomb. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my ears when I saw it. It was really cool. Let me read chat for a second. He got reincarnated by that Rinnegan, but he can't absorb the 10,000 reanimated body to become the vessel. Wanted more of Samui though. Samui, which one's that? I don't remember. The big boobed girl. Raikage and Sasuke have a moment post-war arc, do they? But yeah, like he's fucking everybody up, even though Sasuke he has to chop one of his arms off very nonchalantly because Sasuke uses a Amaterasu on it. It's cool. The fight here is cool, and then Gaara steps in. It's cool how those two run away while the other three Kage stay in the room, so Sasuke can have the cool moment when he comes in and cuts down all the flags. There is also the general, this started in the Pain arc too, but the general, like, the shinobi world is, like, corrupt and needs to be reshaped entirely if, like, it can be good at all. I like how this is sort of symbolized in Naruto and Sasuke, where Naruto wants to reform it, and Sasuke is more like, let's just kill everybody, fuck them. And that's like him showing that is through cutting down all the flags and being like, fuck this goddamn system. This is what happened to Itachi. This is why this happened to Itachi, because of this warring bullshit. And Naruto is going about it a different way. It all thematically works together very well. The duality and all of that. The fight goes on here. Sugetsu gets really fucked up. Jugo tries to transform and he keeps transforming, but the Raikage keeps fucking him up. It's pretty cool. Everybody's like, well, we can't trust Danzo now that it's been revealed he was fucking with everybody. Sasuke's ninja way is really good. Obito's voice actor it's Madara's voice actor, right? Obito's voice actor is very different. I remember liking it less, but he goes on this big speech about, like, Sasuke's ninja way is now all about hate and, like, the hatred for all of this shit. It's a really good, like, monologue, and it's delivered really well. I liked it a lot. The curse of hatred or whatever. It's cute. Thematically, again, it resonates. He first mentions Ishura and Shura or whatever the fuck. Indra. Because Sasuke is Indra's arrows, and now that's how I know which one Sasuke's supposed to be and which one Naruto's supposed to be. He talks about how the elder son got his eyes and the younger son got his power, and talks about the duality here and how they became the Uchiha clan and the Senju clan, Will of Fire and all of this. And then Hashirama and Madara were reincarnations of this, and Sasuke and Naruto are the new incarnations of this. All good stuff. I like how the point against this is usually like, oh, so it was just destined the whole time that Naruto and Sasuke were going to be these big important people. And it's like the whole conclusion to this is that they actually break free of this, like, curse, right? This curse about these two brothers that fight throughout all of history. Naruto and Sasuke actually do end up becoming friends again, and they break this cycle of destiny or whatever. So they actually, the theme isn't actually that everything was predetermined. They actually break destiny, just like Naruto said to Neji, so it doesn't actually contradict that theme. If I'm remembering that correctly, I'm pretty sure that's what happens, which is funny when the internet just shits on it for doing the exact thing it doesn't do, and the exact same theme it's like going against. We're fighting here, Chidori lightning release, all the fun fight stuff. There are a lot of, like, there's no, like, big, massive fights in this arc. There's a lot of really cool little fights. Though we are going flat and we need to speed through some of this shit. Fuck you. Karen is still locating Danzo. It's also clear here, it's in every battle, like, Naruto learns something and Sasuke, like, they change. Like, in the Killer Bee fight, Sasuke was, like, trying desperately to protect all of the people on his team. But now he's more mean and he's more psychotic here, and he is actively not giving a fuck about his teammates. And then in the next fight, post Danzo, he will actually kill Karen, or try at least to kill Danzo, and he talks about how useless she is and all of that. So it's cool that, like, this was built up through each one of Sasuke's fights post learning the truth about Itachi, that he was slowly getting to become more of a prick. And it really is reinforcing that Sasuke is like a prick now. So it's like the audience is turning against him too and being like, well, he's sort of gone too far now. How is Sasuke supposed to just get away with this by having Naruto take him back to the village? Like, he has so many enemies now. And again, it's like this immeasurable weight against Naruto. Like, the odds are so stacked against him for him to get Sasuke back, firstly convince him and then convince the rest of the world not to try and kill him. Like, it really makes you doubt Naruto, and like Naruto can overcome these odds eventually, and it's really good. Let me read chat. I see Pine Kid's still going off. The Raikage and Sasuke have I read that one. Sugetsu is low-key OP. He took an 8 Tails attack. True. Sasuke pissing off Raikage with that glare, though. Hidan technique was low-key creepy when I first saw it. Karen simp. Karen's fine. I don't know why everybody shits on her. Like, the thing everybody shits on her for is, like, the joke. This is when we first see all of their powers. The lava release is so fucking sick. She, like, melts the door down. They all completely fuck up Sasuke. Sasuke is not Kage level. He is not as strong as Pain. He's not as strong as Naruto right now. Even with the Susanoo, like, the Raikage is fucking it all up. But it's really sick. The lava release, and then the boil release too, because she's got 2, and it's really cool. Then White Zetsu uses his spore power, and everybody's all fucked up, and they got to find a way out of that. And then he uses particle style over here. Dust release detachment of the primitive wood world technique. That's particle style, I think. That's the Japanese name. Which seemingly indicates him into mere particles. It's so cool where you just think, like, the Tsuchikage just does it, and then the Raikage comes back and he's like, I fucking killed the little shit Sasuke. You don't gotta worry about him. And the Raikage wants to fight him because he wanted to do it. And then Madara shows up and he's gonna talk about the Eye of the Moon plan. This is when Madara explains his plan. We see the 10 Tails for the first time. He teleports Sasuke and Karen away. It's cool that Obito has to come in and save them, and he's like, now the biggest dick boy is here. He talks about how he wanted to take some of the Kage captive. It's interesting what his plans are behind the scenes at every point of this. Like, Obito is probably not strong enough to, like, beat them all in this point since he doesn't have the Rinnegan. Like, what powers does Obito have? He has the Kamui thing. But outside of that, I don't really know what powers he has. I think he only has one Sharingan at this point. Or does he have another? No, he has another one underneath it, right? Because that's how he beats Konan. Whatever is cool. The creation of all things. He explains the moon thing. All of this is cute. The infinite Tsukiyomi. We're literally doing Evangelion here. Gaara, like, immediately points out that this is just like a fake piece and not worthy, and that's kind of like the whole argument against it, which I feel like it's interesting that they just immediately are like, well, this isn't very good, this is a bad plan. Yeah, and Gaara stands up for Naruto. He's like, I'm not giving you Naruto, so they all declare war. Naruto enters Sage Mode here, but it doesn't go anywhere. I remember that being kind of weird. Danzo also leaves. This is when Sasuke at some point, like, cuts down the thing. I've heard to mention Zetsu popping up and saying Sasuke Uchiha is in the building just fucking with people. And that's when they all freak out and the Raikage runs off and then Gaara runs off after him. It's all fucking sick. He has the most OV power ever, and it's literally invincible, though. Who are we talking about? Even though I like her, though. I don't know. He collected those eyes from the Uchiha massacre. Yes, Danzo. Also, in like the most recent episode that I watched, like Obito has a massive like lab of a bunch of eyes too. I assume he got them from the massacre too, or maybe the actual Madara just collected them over the years. Like when he has Danzo's body on like a thing in like his lab somewhere. Sakura's feelings. Sakura tells Naruto she loves him. I talked about this on Twitter, how it is a very cringy scene, and it's not the best. You're not supposed to side with Sakura in this scene, but like I looked at the comments underneath the 9 anime thing I was watching it in, and they were just like, I want this bitch Sakura to die. I know, this incel, like 15-year-old rage about a girl playing with a boy's feelings that everybody gets so up in arms about is like the most childish shit I've ever seen. It's so fucking cringe from them. Way cringer than the actual monologue here. Though the monologue is pretty awful. Sakura's voice actress, I don't know. I've been praising a bunch of monologues recently about how the dub can do monologues really well. This one was not very good. Who are these people? Oh, these are the fucking... what else is happening here? We gotta run through thing. Allied Shinobi Forces thing. Kiba and Sai following with Sasuke. Because Kiba, Rock Lee, and Sai go with Sakura, but Sakura will later beat them up to head off with Sasuke. And then Killer Bee is training with this dude that I forgot about with his big raccoon. There's a gag here with Kisame always saying the name wrong, and then Killer Bee didn't even know it, so he has to write it down. This Kisame Killer Bee fight is real sick, and like they're pretty even. Kisame is gonna win, but the sword betrays him, which is, I remembered being cute as fuck, because he likes Killer Bee's chakra more. And then at the end, the Kage shows up, which is really cool, and they do the double lariat, and they decapitate Kisame, but he's not actually dead because he's also on the sword. That was the preview of the next episode I had to watch. It's really cool. This fight is really cool. The opening where Killer Bee is throwing the pencil, and like Kisame is like, this pencil will kill me if it touches me, and he's got to like get out of it, and like because he throws multiple pencils, he takes one of the pencils in the shoulder to hit Killer Bee. Naruto has the sickest fucking fights. They slow down time for that second, and they're like, what is he gonna do? And it's like, okay, dodge one, take one, throw the sword. It's fucking sick. Naruto's fucking fights. And this whole mind puppet thing with the Byakugan dude and the dude from Ino's clan, the Anbu dude, as they're fighting. So sick. Every fight in Naruto is so much better than all these other shitty shows. Who's following now? Amiya Jaeger? Well, look at that name. Toby has the most OP power. Yeah, he really can't be touched, right? I guess that's pretty OP. Though Minato fucking got him. Not even Toby did steam right. Steel right. No, even Toby did steel right. I'm not sure. Oh, well, yeah, because he can copy shit with the Sharingan. Maybe, but his main power is his own because Kakashi has the same but worse. Which powers do you like the most, Chad? Mine, Inoki's, Toby's, Hashirama's Wood Style, and Tobirama's Genjutsu. What's Tobirama's Genjutsu? I like Minato's power is the coolest one, the teleporting one. Particle Style is pretty fucking sick. All of Hashirama's moves are pretty sick. Naruto has all the best powers. Raptor's bench player. Sasuke's Inferno Style and Toby's intangibility is some of my favorites. Is intangibility just the passing through thing? They're all... Naruto just has the sickest fucking shit. I remember Inferno Style, but I forget what it is. Gaara and Naruto have a talk here where Gaara is like, you sort of have to figure out what a friend is, and it's even Gaara is like, well, we probably have to kill Sasuke, and Naruto's still like, no. Naruto's sad because he doesn't have an answer yet. Jugo and Sugetsu get caught at some point. Sai sticks around and tells Naruto, Kakashi, and Yamato what's actually going on so they can split up. Kakashi's going to go after Sakura and kill Sasuke. Naruto is supposed to stay with, what the fuck is his name? I just said it, Yamato. But he tricks him and heads after him. Tamari is kind of being a bitch here. Didn't like that. She doesn't. Her and Kankuro are just kind of around. They don't really have a big thing to do in this arc. Shikamaru's not around, so Tamari isn't as awesome as usual, but they will be together again soon when they're waiting in like a line for the alliance thing. So that'll be cool. Karin has to heal Sasuke because he's about to fight Danzo because he's all fucked up after all the Kage decide to kill him. When Naruto reminisces about Team 7, the picture is his last team shatters. Team photo is different from the one usually shown. Yeah, Naruto's gone like breaking a bunch of like pictures in his head. I remember thinking that was cool. Danzo's right arm, he's got a bunch of fucking Sharingan on that shit, and he's going to use Izanami, which is introduced here. Poor Conan, the victim of Izanami. I always thought the way this fight ends, this fight is super sick too. The way this fight ends with also Sasuke summons a hawk now because it's the hawk thing. It's cool. He has 2 summon things. That's cute. I like that. How Sasuke he tests that Danzo is weak to Genjutsu by summoning Itachi and then tricking him, and then he tricks him into thinking that he has one more eye left than he does, and it fucks with his Izanami. It's really cool. Danzo's being very flippant with it. He's like letting a lot of things hit him, which I'm like, you probably could have dodged that without using a whole fucking eye. Like Toby uses it much better later on. There's a bunch of cool wind release things. Danzo is a wind style dude, which I thought was cool. It's cool because they killed off a bunch of wind style things. I think Nagato had them all. There was another wind style, and it's cool because I know there's that moment when Madara is like, Tamari is like, I'm the strongest wind user alive or whatever, or at least in that section of the army when they come against Madara because Madara is weak to it. It's like Danzo could have been there if he was still alive, and Naruto obviously is stronger than Tamari. But yeah, it's just like a cool, like, ooh, Danzo has wind. Isn't that cute? And he's using a bunch of things, that weird, like, monstery summons to, like, suck in wind, and then Sasuke uses it against him by blowing fire into it, and it fucks him up. Just the coolest fucking powers ever. Sasuke uses the Susanoo. It, like, transforms a bunch. Danzo can't use it. Sad times. They're using Shuriken and shit like that. We skipped over the Madara fight with the, the 2 guards of Danzo. It was really cool. Also, Danzo has Hashirama cells and Sharingan, so shouldn't he be able to get a Rinnegan? Isn't that the 2 things you need, or do you have to actually be an Uchiha and have Hashirama cells? I can't remember, because it's supposed to be the combination of them, because they both descend from the thingy. I guess because Danzo is a Shimura or whatever, and he's not actually either one of them, it wouldn't work with him. Does that mean if Naruto got a Sharingan, he would be able to use Rinnegan? Though you can have him implanted, you just can't get it naturally. I don't know. The vacuum grate thingy, this is a thing. He's like cutting shit up with his wind style, it's cool. Baku, that's the thingy. The fight's going on. It's really cool. I can't tell if I like the Kisame one or the Danzo fight better. They're both really cool. Again, it's like a bunch of like A-tier fights that are like not the pain fight. They're not like S-tier big monumental battles. But it's like this is the like this whole arc's villain basically is Danzo. And then this is the last Danzo episode. It's really cool. The last Danzo monologue about him and Hiruzen and the flashback to Tobirama and Hiruzen getting chosen as Hokage is like one of the best moments I think I've seen. I think it might be literally the best moment in the rewatch, even better than the last Jiraiya monologue. It's super good at getting empathy for Danzo at the end, even though people seem to forget about this. It's so good. I love Danzo as a character. It's fucking sick. Like the "Hey Hiruzen" like last line as he fades out and dies, and then he's like, "I'll take you both out with me," and he has this death seal thing. The tree grows out of Zam. He has to cut it off. And it actually cuts like Obito off guard. Obito was like scared and he's like, "Sasuke, get out of here," and he like quickly like fades through the thing. It's really cool to put over. Like Danzo had a million like secrets that he was going to use to kill. Like these all should have worked on somebody, but Sasuke was just a little better. Was this in the first Shinobi War? I didn't realize that it was from the first Shinobi War, this flashback. It's cool in the flashback. I actually looked at the manga chapter for this. It has like the whole team, and there's an Uchiha on their team, and somebody from Choji's clan. and a bunch of them. It's really cool. It's just like a cool flashback to this might be one of the only flashbacks we ever get to the first Ninja War. But Tobirama's like gonna die, and Hiruzen becomes the Hokage when he's like 18. And like, it's cool that Hiruzen was basically the Hokage for the entirety of the Leaf Village's fucking existence. Because Danzo and not Danzo, because Tobirama and Hashirama both died young, and same with Minato. It's always really been Hiruzen until Tsunade now, so it's cute. This is just the end of the thing. I really like all of this. I can't stress it enough. Like, this is really good shit. The Danzo ending here, the monologue, everything is really good. Is Naruto even a wind user when he only has one wind star jutsu? It's not stable though. Hashirama cells and Danzo. Okay, so it's not stable. Yeah, he has a Rasen Shuriken. He throws that all the time. That's how he beat Pain, right? Karen, she's the best girl. She's best girl from material. I imagine a hickey but get full energy bar. Little weird. Inferno is OP too. Yeah, I didn't want to explain the power in case of spoilers. I've seen all of Naruto. There's no spoilers here. This is a rewatch. Sasuke's Inferno style, and Madara had to wait a long time before his Sharingan evolved into a Rinnegan. Yeah, right. He was super old when that finally happened, right? He uses the Kage Genkai moves later on. Yeah, with the yin yang symbol. I don't remember that stuff. Like, I know it exists, but I don't remember the specifics. You need to be Ashura and Indra's reincarnation to awaken the Rinnegan. Is that true? Okay. But yes, the Danzo ending is fucking sick. It's like my favorite moment in the rewatch so far. It's real good. Sakura's resolve. Alright, we're nearly caught up. Sakura has like 50 flashbacks, and then there's like, okay, I've got to be the one to do Sasuke. She has some self-awareness about her crush being weird and stupid, but it's still her only motivation. Then we get the exact same episode, but from Naruto's perspective, where he remembers everything. Now, it's interesting because nobody understands like the Naruto change here. Nobody explains it. The only time, like the first time I realized it was when I watched that Math Wiz video. And Naruto's like breaking down like why, like all the thematic big stuff that's always been present with him in Sasuke's character that nobody ever talks about, and how it changed partially, and like sort of these unwritten things. And it's really cool. And on the fucking 9 anime thing, everybody's complaining about flashbacks in the comments section and talked about how the series was shit or whatever, when they're completely missing the point. Kakashi does find everybody passed out. He puts them in a neat little pile. It's a cute Kakashi move. Then he shows up right before Sasuke actively tries to kill Sakura and stops him and is like, fuck you, Sasuke. And it's a cool moment. Like, I was actually really anticipating like even Sakura seeing Sasuke again. Their conversation is cool. Sasuke tries to make Sakura kill Karin because he's gone through her, because that happened in the Danzo fight. She is like, fuck Sasuke at this point. But she runs back to him too, of course. There's a whole thing there. Still, they never mention that her name is fucking Uzumaki, even when she meets Naruto. There's an awesome moment where Kakashi relates himself to the third Hokage, and about how he must have been going through what Kakashi is going through, like the heartache of having to fight his former student, and now that he understands that he has to kill him, and that like the third Hokage's one mistake was not being willing to kill Orochimaru, but Kakashi is willing right now to kill him. Now Sasuke does seem to like fuck on Kakashi in this fight a little bit, but Kakashi is always like holding his own. It's really cute. I like it a lot. Like, Sasuke brings out Susanoo and uses the arrow thing, but he's really fucked up, and he's losing chakra, but Kakashi absorbs it with the Kamui. It's cool. Their little fight here is cool. I like it a lot. Sakura doesn't get to, like, throw one punch at Sasuke, and it's like, come on, can't she just, like, get one hit on him, and he has this one moment of, ooh, she's strong now or something? Just a little bit of, like, anything between them. Anything, Sakura? Can you do anything? I'm trying not to hate on Sakura, but, like, it's not the best. Then we have more flashbacks here, but it's better. It's like Sasuke and Naruto's conversation here. It's really cool because it's really cool that at the final valley, the reason why Sasuke left is because Naruto refused to even try to understand Sasuke, and then he continued to fuck up when he sees him. Because Naruto, it's like Sasuke actually says it, and it seems like a mean line to say to Naruto about how you couldn't understand because you never had a family. But that's like the whole point. Like, Naruto really doesn't understand, but now he does because Jiraiya died, so he understands the pain of losing a father figure and the pain Sasuke must have been going to. And he didn't understand the Tenshi Bridge thing. So again, Sasuke is just not interested. But now Sasuke is the one that doesn't understand Naruto. Like Naruto refuses after everybody. Kakashi has just tried to kill Sasuke. Sakura tried even though she couldn't. Shikamaru and everybody wants to kill Sasuke. The whole world wants to kill Sasuke, but Naruto refuses to give up on his friend. It's really cute thematically. And it's really explored here where Sasuke, like Naruto is like, yo, we're the only ones that can understand each other since we had such similar upbringings. They were both very lonely children. They could have been friends, but they couldn't because they were mean. Naruto hated the world too, but then he started to meet all of his friends, and the fact, like, he couldn't understand Sasuke because Sasuke finally got friends again, but he wanted to throw it away to get more power, and being friends, like Naruto having friends, is the only thing that was ever good to him because he was very lonely, and it's like, there's a lot to think about there, and nobody ever gives it like its due. What else happens? They sort of explain all of this here with a lot of flashbacks. They also collide with a Chidori and a Rasengan. Oh no, this is like the shot where it's like Naruto is like, we easily could have been on like the opposite ends of this, and it like shows Naruto with the Chidori and Sasuke with the Rasengan of like, Naruto could have ended up hating everybody and wanting to kill everybody, and Sasuke could have been the one trying to bring him back, and that they're not very different at all, and they are the same, and that people are capable of all this stuff, even all the bad stuff Sasuke is doing, because of all the bad stuff that happened to him. This is the last episode, like, it's interesting because, again, Sasuke was very dismissive of Naruto all up until this point, even when they're going to, like, when Sasuke's on his way to fight Itachi, and he like kills the one Naruto clone, and he's like, how annoying or whatever, because Naruto still didn't get it. He just wanted to bring Sasuke back for selfish reasons, because he was his friend, because he made this promise, because of all this stuff he didn't actually understand. And like Sasuke, again, it's like the thing where Sasuke doesn't care about most things. And I mentioned earlier with Gaara, he like gave Gaara like the time of day, and it was like cute, it was like a callback, and it was a really good characterization. Here, he initially is like, fuck off Naruto, but then like you can tell that Sasuke cares here, and he like wants to hear what Naruto has to say. Like Madara shows up at some point, and he's like, we're leaving, you're all fucked up, let's get out of here. And Sasuke's like, no, like he wants to hear what Naruto says. He has one last thing to say, and Sasuke's like, no, I want to see this. White Zetsu also shows up to save Sasuke at this point, and Kakashi has to save Naruto when they hit each other, since they both kind of fucked up. It's all really cute. Madara showing up here is cool. Like, Kakashi is like, I'm gonna kill Madara right now, because he thinks he can get him with Kamui and just trap him in a different dimension, but Madara stops him and is like, that won't work on me, Kakashi. And it's a very cute callback. Like, we're nearly there, guys. Like, we will find out that this is Obito. And I like the little callbacks like that, the foreshadowing there, that doesn't work on me, motherfucker. I bet that's when the theory started to explode. It has to be Obito, because they have basically the same power, but a little bit different. Oh, and then Sasuke finally has a thing like, give me Itachi's eyes, I need them to kill Naruto, because now Sasuke is the one that doesn't understand. He's Naruto and Naruto's him. They've switched sides, which also works with the thumbnail that was for the last episode, because they could have been on different sides, and they are actively on different sides now. Sasuke is the one that refuses to understand and thinks he's too arrogant to understand, where that used to be Naruto. Naruto used to not want to talk, he just wanted to beat up Sasuke and take him back, and now Sasuke doesn't want to talk. It's cute. Oh, my fucking goddamn hair tie broke, you motherfucker, and now it's trapped in my goddamn fucking hair. Well, that's fucking annoying, but here we go. Let me rechat, because that's the last episode I watched. I think, oh yeah, also the other thing is Obito mentions he needs to get the Rinnegan back before the war, so that like sets up what's going to happen with Conan soon. I'm super hyped to see that fight again. I remember really loving it. Let me see. I read most of this chat. The That Danzo flashback still confuses the hell out of me. It's the first Shinobi War, but Tobirama is the Hokage. Does that mean that Hashirama somehow died as soon as he became Hokage, but Tsunade has memories of him? The Tsunade thing is the only thing that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that Tsunade has memories of him, or he has memories of Tsunade, I'm pretty sure. Everything else fits in, because isn't like the fan canon thing that Hashirama might have died of the same thing Itachi did? Because like Itachi inherited his will and all that, and it might be a cute connection there. They both died very young, because that's like the end of the first Ninja War, maybe. I don't know, because like Hiruzen is like way older when he's training like 12-year-old or maybe 10-year-old Tsunade, Orochimaru, and Jiraiya. It's interesting that he would have already been Hokage at that point. There's a whole thing, which means like the second Hokage should have died way before Tsunade has any memories. Mito being a stricken dominating wife makes him resign forcefully. Isn't that the first Hokage's wife? Maybe she, Mito, was the vessel that Hashirama tried being a bodyguard for her or something. Do you sport a ponytail hairstyle or a penguin / Keanu Reeves hairstyle? I don't know what the difference is. It's longer. It's been growing ever since I started this fucking channel, so... Not even this channel, the old channel. But that's it for Naruto, I think. I think I covered most of it. It's all really cool. The fights were all based. The thematic stuff is really good. The monologuing is still really good. I like it. Danzo is based. He's like one of the best characters in all of Naruto. Legitimately might be my favorite written one so far. The Jiraiya was pretty cool too, and Nagato was really cool. All the characters are really cool. I like them. Everything comes back. There's none of this, like, a lot of the retconning people think happened, didn't happen. That Tsunade thing really doesn't make sense. The timeline is a little fucked up in terms of when the wars take place and things like that. But, like, simple, like, retcons aren't really happening the way people, like, pretend that they do. Damn, when is the next Naruto discussion? Well, I gotta watch a bunch before then. I don't know, because there's like 5 more episodes, then there's filler, then there's another episode, there's another bunch. I'm kind of dreading going through, because I know I know the first time I watched all the boat shit. I know I get to skip a lot of the boat shit, so that's good. Like, I think about that training arc on the weird animal thing, and I'm like, I remember that being boring. But that's also when he meets his mum, and that's like one of my favorite things, because it gives you the Minato flashback, where he fights Obito, which is like one of my favorite fights ever. So, I don't know, we'll be cool. We're going to keep on keeping on at some point. It'll probably be like 2 weeks or something for me to watch like at least 10 or 12 episodes. So how many did we do here? It was like 203 to 216, so it was like 13, I think. I don't know. High level Shinobi, and they talk about the callbacks. All the callbacks, like the first fight, to set up the thematic stuff is really cool. That it's like was set up that far back about the high level Shinobi thing, about how Sasuke now, like Naruto now understands just from punching Sasuke what he means and can understand him better. And it all makes sense that they have like that thematic like mind reading thing in the final fight when they're just fighting. I swear if you somehow defend the Kage shit, I'm gonna be disappointed. I already like the Kage shit, so fuck you, truth. When is Vinland Saga chapter reviews coming? When did you last post? I don't know. Hold on, let me end the Naruto section of this stream, and the YouTube video. So, that'll be Naruto. We'll be back at some point. We're going to keep on keeping on here. It's still good. I would probably give this arc like a 9 rather than like a 10, like the Pain arc. I think it was a little less. There's more going on in this one. Though is there. It's really good. I would still give it like a 9. I don't know about 10. I think it was a little worse. I can't really explain why though. Overall, Naruto's still a 10 though. It's really good. Those flashback episodes, again, I need to read the manga because it doesn't have any of that shit. I checked the chapters and it's just like 5 episodes of flashbacks and going on about everything is like 2 chapters in the manga. It'd be like, ooh, let me get through all this shit. Look, it's like chapter 182, then 86, then 87. So they cut out and rearranged some shit. I don't know about that one. But yeah, so with that being said, for the YouTube Naruto people, we will be back eventually. Support links in the description below. Thanks.